Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Backcast, where I, Adam Upper, talk with Braydon Kenny about Batman and the animated series. And this week's episode is Joker's Paper. How you doing today, sir?
Man's hair, Adam. Cannot stop looking at this man's hair. I have nightmares about this hair.
or lack thereof, except for that little weird-ass guy, Jerry Curl, almost at the front.
I remember one of the first things that I sent to Adam when he asked me a while back, I need a co-host for this podcast. And I think you might be the kind of person I'm looking for. And I'm like, I know exactly the first thing I'm talking about. 5 years later, and I still cannot unsee this guy's comb over.
That's so bad.
It's so bad. It's like worse than Edward James Olmos's comb over in Stand and Deliver. Like the picture that, and then picture this, and it's worse than that. Yeah.
So this is the 22nd episode to be produced, but the seventh episode to air. So making that air friggin' September 11th, 1992. So like the less famous day to have something happen on, really. So like so just 9 years earlier. So marking this like the first Joker episode to air, which also introduces the world to Harley Quinn as well. So it's
Point.
so for us, because we're doing this is like the fourth Joker episode to be produced, but it was the first one to air. So with that, so it was a nice little so I like that as like an intro to Joker because he's just right in doing a friggin' weird ass caper and it has like a at the time just like a what was she even named Harley in this episode? Or was it just started?
I
Was it
think
just
she
started?
definitely, we definitely know she's named Harley Quinn, but they don't address any of like the background because even at one
Oh yeah,
point
yeah,
she mentions like I should have gone back to beauty school, and it's like you're
yeah,
a
yeah, but
psychologist.
yeah. She's obviously not like Harley Quinn, like as we know her, but I couldn't remember if they actually referred to her that or was it just because initially this was just supposed to be like a one-off character because I was reading the show notes that which I thought was weird that the script called for the Joker to be in drag for like which I was probably guessing for the cake reveal. I'm guessing instead of Harley then what was and they said that then they're like, hey, that seems to be out of character for the Joker, so let's make this make this other character, which turned out to be good because it was Harley, and obviously now we know what Harley's done for friggin' DC and how popular a character she is, which for good
No
reason
kidding.
because of what she's turned into, but and obviously too, and there because Paul Dini, like he probably knows more like what Joker's all about than I am. But Joker being in drag for that one thing doesn't seem necessarily out of character to me. That I could definitely see Joker just like being in drag and being like, haha, I'm just doing this because why the fuck would else I have anybody else do this for me instead, sort of thing, instead
Joker is
of
very
being like,
much of the mindset of get the like craziest reaction I can out of people.
yeah, yeah.
Joker would absolutely step out of that cake wearing like a Borat mankini G-string thong if he wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was weird, but as I said, it was a good thing that they changed that because as I said it turned out to be the creation of Harley and stuff, and so can't
One of the many
so
reasons why we're rewatching this show because of the lasting impact it's made,
yeah,
and
exactly,
Harley Quinn's
yes,
one of them.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So and who was Arlene Sorkin was the voice of that's was like the guy that was owed Joker the favor. Was his name Charlie? Was that Charlie?
Charlie Collins.
Okay, I was wondering like why his name sounded familiar, why his voice sounded familiar. Just looking at the
Why? Who's the
script
voice actor?
that it's Ed Begley Jr. So he's like back doing the voice. So
Oh,
so yeah, so he's like a big like actor from like the 80s and 90s, and he's a big activist and stuff and whatnot. So like
yeah.
the older generation would know who that is and stuff. And like I know him more as like a reference point than an actor really. So I like just know he's an older actor really than I'm sure I'm sure I've probably seen him and stuff, and he's probably one of those actors that you like, oh yeah, it's that guy sort of thing. I think, yeah, for me at least. So yeah, but he's definitely like been in a lot of stuff. Yeah, so but yeah, so like so it's who that was. Yeah, I was meaning to look that up yeah before we started, but I forgot. But just looking at it, yeah, I was like, definitely that's why. Yeah, he sounded familiar. Yeah, and yeah, this is written by the famous Paul Dini. So yeah, so he's like credited for creating Harley Quinn for that, and directed by Boyd Kirkland. I think we've had that name before for directing. I think that sounds familiar at least once. I want
Did
to say
Boyd do the first episode?
it, maybe,
He might have done on Leather Wings. If not, he's done
maybe, yeah.
one of the very earlier episodes that
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
done.
I said the name sounds familiar at least, yeah. So I should probably like keep better records of that and stuff so we can do that, but I haven't and I'm lazy, so I'm not gonna go back now. Sorry, people. But as but yeah, so this episode starts off with Buddy friggin' driving down the highway, just friggin' mumbling to himself, bitching, which, it sounds really familiar because both of us live in Southern Ontario, and famously, at least for within Ontario, at least, I'm sure it's been like this before, but like the 401 series in Toronto is like famous for, at least around here, for being like the busiest highway in like North America. So that's at
Yeah.
least what it's touted to us. So I'm not sure if that's actually touted like everywhere else. So like if everybody's listening and actually knows if that's true, that's elsewhere outside of like Toronto and stuff, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like just being like even though I don't drive, I've traveled like on the 401 to the DVP like during like peak traffic and just friggin' mumbling and shaking her fist at people. I've gotten like passenger side road rage sometimes. So I understand
Oh yeah.
the guy just freaking being like, oh, I'm having a bad day just driving. Oh, I'm just cursing like, oh, this and that. My job, my boss didn't give me a raise, this stuff, and it kind of sucks that he's fucking saying his wife making him food is something bad, but because I could go for some meatloaf right now, I think. But aside from
Like
that, I can
we're lucky
understand that.
enough in 2024 to afford food.
Yeah, true enough. Let alone somebody for that have somebody fucking making it for us and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, so
Yeah.
he's just fucking he's having a bad old day, and then friggin' I hear like the police sirens go past him. And he's like, oh, where are they going? And then the fucking Batmobile goes past him too. And you would think with like the Batmobile that he should be able to outrun the cops. I would think because he's probably not gonna go with like the rules of the road and stuff, and he'd probably and that car could probably go faster than the police cars. I would imagine. I think with that fucking jet engine on the end of it. So.
Yeah.
So I would say, and probably, and I would assume they're probably going to the same place. I would imagine. So I don't see why he's that far behind the police.
Well, what made me wonder where they're going is the fact that the Joker's behind them.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because that's
yeah,
how
so
like Charlie bumps into the Joker in the first place. Literally
yeah,
bumps into him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, or the Joker bumps into him. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
could say that too. Like I was like, where else are they going? Like, must be like being like, yeah, it must be like one of our scarecrows friggin' heist this time, and they're just trying to get the fear toxin to not go in the water for like the fifth time this month or something,
Yeah.
or not explode in the blimps for the third time this month or something like that.
I told you,
Hey,
get
yeah,
rid of
so
these stupid flimps.
yeah. So I think that's what it is. So, like, yeah, so one of the other super villains is doing their thing, and it's just, yeah, the Joker's just friggin' doing his thing. He doesn't have an idea of a heist yet. He's like, yeah, it's not my turn to do my thing, so I'm just gonna friggin' chill and just do my day to day friggin' whatever. And friggin' Joker being the Joker, he's like fucking probably doesn't follow the rules of the road either, so he probably just try to change lanes without looking or something like that, and bumps into Charlie. And he starts,
Yeah.
so Charlie's like, fuck you, buddy, and fucking run off me, and does the fucking,
Yeah.
obviously, white guy, fucking road rage, just being like tough guy behind the
Yeah. Very
wheel. But like,
Canadian road rage.
he's like, so he starts fucking, yeah, so then Susie like realizes it's the Joker. He's like, oh shit, like what everyone else, I feel the Joker is probably like the one of the last people you can want to be shaking your fists off at the highway because, like I
Yeah.
said, if he's not going to be following the rules of the road, he fucking doesn't care about shit. So obviously he's going to fucking follow you and cause you for fuck with you because you're fucking screaming at him for no reason. He's like, you should be
Well, did
what?
you notice? Did you notice
But
that the Joker had like stuff on like the roof of his car tied up? Which, knowing
yeah,
the Joker, is either like guns or bodies. And Charlie decided to find out. He effed around and found out.
or he was just hitting up his fake distributor for like the fake teeth or whatever, so you can just distribute it around town
Yeah.
or something.
But one specific thing that I loved about this is how he says like verbatim to the Joker, "Why for 2 cents side?" And then when he sees it's the Joker, cuts himself off. When he tries to outrun the Joker on the road, he does a pretty good job for a while until the Joker catches up to him. But then when he's like running out of his car, the Joker throws 2 pennies at him. And he's like, "Well, there's your 2 cents. So what are you gonna do now, smart ass?"
But so he said that he like realizes the Joker and runs away and just I imagine probably not unlike Batman that where Batman knows probably basically all of Gotham and LA and stuff. I imagine the Joker probably has like the same sort of like probably not to that Batman level, but probably just underneath it, really of knowing Gotham as well. Because I said like at one point it looks like he loses them, then he fucking Joker ends up in front of him and cuts him off, and then then he goes into the looks like into like the mountains or the outskirts of town, and then the car cuts out, and then he runs away, and then that's where he does like the 2 cents thing and whatnot. And then
Yeah.
obviously like and then too like if the Joker was chasing me in the random forest at night, I would be fucking terrified as well. And
Oh
I
yeah. I'm like, this is how I die.
and I can't fight, but I'm fucking like 6'3" and probably 220, 230 ish. So I'm probably like a somewhat scary guy and like probably somewhat intimidating, even though I don't try to be. And like I would still be fucking scared shitless, like in that dark where the Joker fucking chase me around in the dark, just being fucking crazy and being at night and him being like right after me specifically.
So you're saying that when the Joker shoots you and you go down, he yells, "Timber!"
It probably would sound like something you would do,
Yeah. So, yeah, Charlie's begging for his life, saying like, "I got a wife and I got a kid, like, like, don't kill me." And I think if I had to guess, I'd love to talk to the writers to ask where they got the inception of this idea. But if I had to guess, I would assume that because the Joker's used to, like threatening people and killing them in the comics, that they had a scenario where they said, "What if somebody was begging for their life in front of the Joker?" And he said, "Okay, let's run with this. What are you going to do if I save you, if I don't kill you?"
So yeah, so he does that. And he's like, does like, hey, I'll do anything. And yeah, basically, if there wasn't like a children's cartoon, he'd probably be like, hey, I'll suck your dick to fucking and I have you kill me at this point. But
Been up a long time.
But yes, it's I said like he's like, okay, yeah, you owe me a favor. And he's like, what? He's like, I don't know yet. So like, I'll just owe me a favor, and I'll come to you when I need it. And like, man, that aside, like, even with like as I just said earlier, like the Joker chasing you in the dark, the dark in the forest or whatever would be fucking scary. Front loaded friggin' favor for the Joker, I feel would be much scarier.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
yeah,
I'd
because you
rather
have
owe a debt to the mob than the
yeah,
Joker.
yeah, yeah, because you have he said like not know to the mob you wouldn't know what it is, but like it'd be like 10 times worse not knowing what it is for the Joker
Yeah.
because it could be like, hey, buy me that burger over there like 5 years from now just to fuck with you, just to do it, or like something far far worse. Yeah, so because
Yeah.
I would that would be like the last thing I'd ever want to do is owe the Joker a random favor.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to pose to you. If you were the Joker and you were able to call a favor in from this guy to do anything, like, what would you ask him to do?
Man, I can't even try and put myself in like what the Joker would fucking try and think and what to do, man.
Yeah. Oh, come
I
on,
said like,
embrace your inner dark
yeah,
side.
because I said that as I said, it would probably be like equal parts of get him to do something super mundane just to fuck with him like years later, or something super fucked up that's going to stick with him for the rest of his life. Because either way, it's from the Joker, so it's going to be super fucked up because you're doing like the super mundane thing, thinking he's going to fucking how fucked up your death is, your murder is going to be from him, or like where the murder is coming from him, or when's he going to do it. And then he doesn't, and then you're like, okay, was this really the thing? And then you just wonder for the rest of your life if when the real thing is going to happen. And you're like, when you're dying just from like old age or whatever, you're like, oh shit, that was the thing. I've been worried the rest of my
Yeah.
life for it. And
It's
he's
the
like, yeah,
not knowing that
yeah,
drives you
yeah,
insane.
exactly. But even though he did it, and he's like, I know that because I'm the Joker. He's expecting worse, or
Yeah.
he does the you do this. He gets to do the super fucked up thing, and it lets you live, and you're stuck with that for the rest of your life. Either way, you're fucked.
Yeah. I just picture the Joker like really craving like a Philly cheesesteak and being like, I really want to go back to that place, but I'm banned for life after killing the last manager, so I know something better than DoorDash. Oh,
No, it'd be like more like go back to Philly and get me not
sends him all
original
the
one,
way to Philadelphia.
an authentic one. If you get back and it's cold, you're fucking dead. So you got to do it fast.
He
So
has to
fucking
figure out
go.
how to get back from Philadelphia all the way to Gotham City and keep
Yeah,
it
yeah,
warm.
yeah. And then and for God help you, this is not fucking like a display warm. By the time you get back, you're fucking dead.
Yeah. You'd have a better chance of moving Philadelphia itself and
Yeah,
keeping that thing warm.
yeah. That's where you
Yeah,
pray this guy. That's where you pray this guy like secretly knows like the Flash or Superman, like on the
I'm
DL or
sure.
something
Yeah, you
like
just call the
that.
fly.
I'd be like, dude, man, like, I hate to do this, but like, Brad, like, I need a favor, man. Like, Joker's got me
Yeah,
bad. Like, can you just do this run for me real quick?
the Flash and say
Come on, man.
Joker's gonna kill me and my family if he doesn't get a Philly cheesesteak. And the Flash just has this look on his face like, what?
Yeah, no, like again, it's the Joker, so like, okay, that fucking tracks me. Like,
That's true.
you mean the first thing they do is like, you should know you not to fucking mess with the Joker. What the fuck are you doing? And you're like, well, yeah, you're right. It was on the highway. I fucking started shaking my fist. I was looking, then realized too late it was him. Like, it's fucking sue me, man. And now I'm fucked. So, man, okay, do this favor for me, man. Like, I know you're not doing anything tonight. The rogues are fucking all in hiding right now. Friggin' Reverse Flash is currently in the friggin' jail, so or in the future where the fuck he is. So like you're not doing anything right now. Iris is out of town. Do me this favor, man. Like Superman's
Yeah,
fucking busy with Lois. Come on, please. You can get well. I'll give you extra money.
please.
Get your Philly cheese for yourself for that for the trouble for going. Like come on.
There
I
you
know
go.
you
Yeah,
get an extra large one, man. I know you need the calories. Like come on. Get extra
exactly.
cheese. Get the extra onions. Just don't breathe on me when you get back. All right, please. Come on.
There you go.
So yeah, so that he's like, all right, do me this favor, I'll come to you when I fucking need it or whatever. So we flashed like 2 years
Mhm.
later, and he's like, Charlie's like out front playing with his kid, like I don't know. No, actually, no, wait, that's where they're like it's 2 years later, and it's like Gordon and Harvey walk in the hallway first off,
Yeah, so
and
Gordon's gotten this
and
nomination for is it the parental? I still can't pronounce this word, even looking at it written in front of me. The Parentigenitors Club? Like, what the frick is this word name?
the progenitors.
Progenitors? Like,
I didn't look at it. I don't know.
Gordon's pro custodial staff? Like, I mean, good for him, but like, why don't we pick a hard word if children show?
It's a
Anyway,
learning show.
Gordon has been nominated for an award. That's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
And
and then he's
let's
like
take the
complain.
Joker off.
Yeah, and he's like complaining. He's like, I don't want to go because people would be looking at me, and I don't want to do this. And then Harvey's like, oh, come on, guy, you get some free food. Friggin' people would be like, hey, good for you, and it'd be all good. So just fucking go. Don't have to worry about
Yeah,
it. Then Gordon goes into his office. He's like, I don't see why I got this for blah blah blah. And then Batman's in the corner, like saying like, hey, you're the one that should be getting this sort of thing. And he replies like, hey, if I could nominate anybody, it should have been you. And then Batman's like, hey, I only do the night shift, so like you do this 24 hours a day, so you got to pay that shitty wage to do this, and I make millions to do this for fun, so you should actually
yeah,
deserve this way. You deserve this way more than me because I have like Actually, I guess this Batman doesn't have armor, but yeah, it still has all the cool toys and stuff, and does all
I
the
do
stuff
this
that the
because
police
I'm
can't
rich
do.
and bored. You're rich? Goodbye.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so the Joker's wanting to get at Gordon at this award ceremony, and he's telling Harley. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Harley first, because yeah, this is the first time we are meeting Harley Quinn. What
Yeah,
were your
guys.
first impressions of her?
Yeah, it was like I could see why they probably wanted it back because I was even if like it was just like I said initially it was just supposed to be the one off. I actually like they did have a good back and forth and did seem like she was like one of his like mainstay like thugs or whatever to say or hooligans that were hanging around for a bit and stuff. I just thought that it felt like when it cut to them, like did it feel like it was like mid sentence or something like that because he was like the Joker was like, "Hey, I arranged early parole so we can go because I had like I was looking in the mirror and was throwing the darts at the it looked like the invitation that Gordon got for the whatever award shit or whatever." Like, was he talking to Harley? Like he like was she in jail or was he talking to the thugs or like like it seemed like mid sentence or something like that that you were saying like, "Hey, I arranged early parole so we can go do the thing for get that to get Gordon."
Yeah,
Like, yeah, like that,
I
like
assume he's talking to Harley because the
yeah,
two
I
thugs
guess,
are
or
busy
but
reading a
yeah, so
magazine.
yeah, so I don't know. Then she was like, "Okay, yeah," then doing like, "Hey, let's go." Doing the Harley voice or whatever, and then I being like,
Hmm.
"Hey, let's go do that sort of thing." And then I
Yeah,
always thought that I always thought that part was kind of weird. I don't know. So it felt like they I may have cut that scene or something like that, or I was just listening to it weird or something like that, or it just hit me weird. I guess I don't know.
yeah. I mean, for the brief scenes that we see of Harley in this episode, like Arlene Sorkin already has like so much personality that she brings to the table. And I think there's no doubt as to why Harley was a recurring character after that. Like just even from the way she talks with the that kind of Brooklyn accent with the sassiness, Mr. J. Like, yeah, it rings in your ear and like you love to hear more of her every single time she talks.
Uh, and when did Tara Strong was Harley at one point? Yes, or was I just imagining that she was Harley? Like, when did she take over, or was she, or what was I just imagining that?
I think the last time that Arlene Sorkin voiced Harley was the Arkham Asylum, the first game, and I think Tara Strong took over from there
Oh, okay,
because
so what?
Arlene passed away not too long ago. So I imagine that she
Okay,
was probably getting up in age and wanted to like I don't know if she knew she was sick. I don't know the
or
conditions as to where she passed away from, but
okay, yeah, I just didn't want to think I was imagining that, or just assume that she did it or
uh,
whatever, because she's just a prolific voice actor. Yeah, because remember the year I volunteered at Fan Expo, I think it was 2019, I think it was. Like I was in the voice actor area for like the for my shifts, like for the three or 4 hour shifts. And at one point, I friggin' I can't remember like the way I got put with like the one guy at the table. I friggin' forget, always forget what his name is, but he did a character in the '90s that I'm blanking on right now. But he was like the voice of Bane in one of the Batman and Superman, like I think Public Enemies animated movie, where where I think where they had like somebody put like I think maybe if like Luther put like a $1 billion bounty on Batman and Superman, and so like all the supervillains were going after him, like that
oh
one.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love that
yeah.
scene.
So yeah, but yeah, it was that Bane. Like it was like he did that, but yeah, it was that guy. I can't remember his name offhand. I feel bad. I think
Okay,
it's super famous. Yeah. And so with that, and like so it was like him. The table beside us was the guy who did Beast Boy's voice in like
okay.
the Teen Titans stuff for like years, and it was always funny because I was looking at it, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar, and I was like, is that the guy that was in Too Fast, Too Furious, where Paul Walker set up to take his place in the race, and he went on break. So I went to look at his table, and it was all like he did like because he's a prolific voice actor too. I forget his name also. And in the top
Yeah,
like right corner was just like one photo of him in Too Fast Too Furious. I'm like, I
that's
fucking knew it.
awesome.
So it was funny. And then it was Tara Strong. So it was like, so I like got to like fucking see Tara Strong there. So I was like, and her table was fucking super long all the time. So I
Oh,
was
no doubt.
hoping, yeah, so if she had gotten like not busy or something, I was good just gonna say fucking go and try and talk to her about that, but I couldn't do it. So but I was like, but yeah, she's like fucking yeah, like a bit shorter than I was anticipating. Because
Uh,
she like got up into like came out and, like give hugs to people every so often or whatever too. So I was like, oh, you're a bit shorter than I thought, even though I
yeah.
really have no perspective because I really don't think I've ever really like seen her like standing up before, like and stuff. Just like probably just headshots, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I'm jealous. I'd love to meet Tara Strong. She's done so
yeah,
many characters I love.
yeah.
But yeah, Joker's wanting to find a way to get at Gordon, and that's
Yeah.
where he decides to look. He's got like an index card, so it makes you wonder. I mean, one, like who are his business contacts, but also who are like these other people that the Joker has been keeping tabs on? Because as we learn, he's kept Charlie's. I'm gonna probably accidentally say Harley because we have a Charlie in this episode,
Yeah,
so like the vocal similarities are probably gonna bleed together. That's
yeah,
on me.
yeah.
Um, but he kept tabs on Charlie's driver's license. And for the past 2 years, he's been following this guy because, as someone in Charlie's position, like if this happened to us, first thing I'm going to do is move Gotham, which he did. But Joker followed him. Like that's one of the underrated parts of this episode is we know the Joker's crazy, but to see the lengths of how far that
That
craziness will
yeah
take him,
yeah the dedication, yeah, because yeah, like because Charlie
yeah,
changed his name to whatever it was and stuff, and like I imagine like that would be interesting to try and like, explain to your kid, like the wife, he can be like, hey, that I fucked up, the Joker's after me, and she'd be like, okay, I can deal with this if you want to stay with him or whatever. But trying to explain that, hey, explain that to your kid, probably your kid probably doesn't probably has like probably aware of the Joker at the point, depending on how old the kid is, because that kind of said they were at when we see the kid they were playing outside. So I'd say like 8 to 10, I'd say.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, so like 2 years later, so like kids like 6 to 8 when it happens. So like yeah, that probably kids probably tangentially aware may have heard of Joker in passing, but probably has obviously 6 to 8 years old. You have no real grasp of what that means or anything. So they're trying to explain to your kid where you got to move. But of course, you too, if you're like 6 to 8, you're like, okay, kid, we need to move. You're like, okay. Yeah, so you probably like,
yeah.
yeah, you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna miss my friend in kindergarten or something.
And
But
imagine that kid thinking, like, why is it every so often I can hear from dad's like bedroom every once in a while, can't sleep, clown will kill me. Can't sleep, clown will kill me.
or just hear like to the Joker laughing in the distance every so often. Does Larry like a kid think he's going crazy just hearing like I like that laugh in the distance every so often when he's like going after the dad, but the kid just happens to hear it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie, he gets the call from the Joker, and of course is freaked out that he's not only kept tabs on him, but he finds out that Joker's like, oh, and if you tell anyone about this, like I will, do something to your family. Like he sees like a
Yeah,
like car with the Joker's goons like driving by his
yeah, because
neighborhood. So he's like,
yeah,
oh, so he means business.
yeah, because then yeah, that's how he judge. He says like, yeah, I never lost you, because he says like, find out later on that yeah, you said you've been following him and talked to him and stuff, so he moved and then you thought he lost him, and then obviously he's still been following him, so he just finds that out and he's like, fuck, I'm totally fucked, which is definitely understandable, yeah, because he,
Yeah.
I would never. I don't think I would have fully suspected that I would lose the Joker. I don't think I wouldn't trust the Gotham cops that much. So
I
let's
don't
see
trust
because
them that
honest,
much, but I would certainly try. I mean, I can't blame him for trying.
yeah, I suppose,
Yeah.
but yeah, as I said, yeah, he definitely has too much faith in the Gotham police in that one.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, so that
when the Joker,
it,
sorry, when Charlie goes to the airport, something I want to make mention of here is he gets at first he sees two cops at the air. You actually see this is actually a very well thought out episode for like let's say basic premise. He sees these two cops at the airport and he makes a motion like he's gonna go talk to them. And that's when Harley shows up. She's not in costume, but she's in like her kind of chauffeur, kind of Mercy Graves kind of outfit. So when she picks him up and takes him back to the Joker's hideout, Harley is in full uniform. And the only reason I make mention of this is because as soon as Charlie sees the Joker greets him, and obviously he hasn't seen him in 2 years, which implies one of two things. Either Harley picked him up from the airport, drove him there, got dressed, and made Charlie wait outside, probably like wondering, like, okay, can we just get this over with? Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, leaving him in suspense. Or the crazier alternative, which would be consistent with Harley's character, she was putting on the costume while driving, and this poor man is holding on for dear life in the back of the car while she's putting on the costume and makeup.
I think he'd be like just more worried, like knowing like not to watch, just because all he knows that she's
Oh,
like just
true.
as,
Yeah, he's like, that's the Joker's girlfriend.
or that, or yeah, that, and knowing that she's just as, or just a hair under as crazy as he is. So like you obviously like you don't, yeah, obviously with like with women anyway, like don't watch unless she specifically says like, hey, look at me, sort of thing. Yeah, so if he's trying to sneak a peek, she'd fucking probably
Oh, even if she told me to
do,
look, I wouldn't. I'd be like, nope, nope, this is a trap. Not happening. Nope. Temptress, thy name is Harley.
yeah. So he's, but yeah. So I think that'd be like, yeah, I'd be that definitely like changing as she's driving. Yeah, and then he just like dude like, trying to like stare like out the window and like anywhere but like anywhere
Yeah.
but forward.
It was a very small detail, but when I noticed it, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, so Joker's basically all he wants Charlie to do is he's gonna bring this cake into the award ceremony, and Charlie has to open the door so that they can bring the cake in. I think Charlie's like, wait, that's it? You brought me in here to open a door.
Yeah, yeah. So as I said, like, yeah, that does seem like that, like the mundane side of what something that Joker would do just to fuck with you. And then he's like, "What? That's it?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. Like, look, she's carrying the cake. She can't open a door too. Like, come on, that's two things at
Yeah,
once. You know, it's like everyone does one thing at once, buddy. Like, come on. Like,
yeah,
you don't do cake and door. It's either cake or door. Like, come on. No, not it's not cake door. It's cake or door.
yeah. And speaking as the former fat kid I used to be, that like there's that temptation. It's like I kind of want to try that big cake. It looks really nice, but it's the Joker's cake, so there's no way I'm doing. I'm
Can
not
she
going to ask what is in that cake.
can she open the door and I have the cake? I mean, push the cake.
Yeah. So when they get to the award ceremony, like Charlie is like constantly throughout this episode trying to think his way out of the scenario, which again I can applaud because, like I said, it's a very basic and straightforward thing. It's about a guy owing the Joker a favor, but he's consistently trying to find a way to solve the problem without involving anybody, like let alone the police or Batman. And I think this might be
That's
our first.
the thing. Well, it was he is trying to like at you said like at the airport he was trying to get to go to the police, but Harley was there, and then when I think it was before like before everything goes down like because it shows that Bruce is there with Gordon being like, oh, he's like, yeah, both saying like, hey, I don't want to be here, but then Bruce is like, hey, at least I get to go because I'm not being warded shit, so if I'm getting the fuck out of here and do my Batman shit because fuck people because it
Yeah,
sucks. Yeah, and
he
he's
came for
like,
the cocktail shrimp and hauled out.
so he goes to go, and then Charlie's brain goes into like the Hall of Invention, which when they showed the sign for the door, I read it as like Hall of Intentions. So it's like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's
I was like, what the
awesome.
fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Like, it's not. I didn't think it was that kind of like a museum or whatever. So I was like, I had to rewind it, and I was like, oh, I'm just dumb and fucking read that wrong.
Welcome to the Hall of Innuendos.
Then like when you see that, then as I said, like the second thing is that he sees that uh, bird or bat looking thing. Like what is that?
That
Like
was what
what
I
the
was going
fuck?
to ask you.
Like what is that? Like what kind of invention is that? Like it's just like does it fly? It's like it was like a Da Vinci Da Vinci Bird or something. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, yeah, but with that, like, whatever the fuck that was supposed to be, he does try and find Batman. So he does try and do both, but he's just obviously just trying to fucking outsmart the Joker, or just being like, hey, but they'd be the good citizen, be like, hey, this is fucked up, but yeah, doing that because obviously, like, he probably in the 2 years when he changed his name and whatnot, he was probably being like, hey, do something to the Joker, and the police are obviously like, it's the fucking Joker. All we can do is try and do witness relocation before they change your name, and then be like, hope he's not crazy enough to follow you up, because if he does try and follow you, you're fucked. So this is the best we can do. So
Yeah.
either
Well,
way,
that's what
but
I thought at first was that, like, why doesn't he just go into witness protection program? But then if I'm in that program, like an administrator or something, the first thing I'm going to say is, well, what are you a witness of? The Joker and road rage. Oh, that's it? We're not like, if we give witness protection to every single person that the Joker has slightly inconvenienced, let alone harm, like we'd have no other time for any other cases.
well, in the real world police, yes, but I think in Gotham they'd be like, okay, that does make sense, and I think that's why he's in. Did they ever say where he actually moved to, or is it just like not Gotham?
I assumed it was like California or something.
Right, and I don't think it was. I don't think it was that far, because like I think that
It's
with the
far from
fight thing,
Gotham.
but
I
that
know
might,
that much.
or just like not Gotham, I guess. Yeah. So, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I imagine that's that how he did it, because I imagine he's not like he wasn't like a mob boss, so he was able to buy like a fake name and address and all that shit. So I think so I think that's what did happen. But they were probably like, hey, we can do this, but like if Joker's fucking that got a fucking hard on for you, the chances are he's probably gonna follow you. So we're gonna do this, but it might be still be fucked. So we're
Yeah.
gonna still gonna do it, but or either that, or like Bruce Wayne was, or like Bruce Wayne as Batman, or whatever. It's just like, hey, like yeah, throw some money at it, be like, hey, just make a new name for him, and hopefully it works.
Yeah. So, did you notice that we technically have Charlie to thank for the bat signal? Because that's how he is able to find Batman or
Yeah,
to call him
yeah,
out.
yeah,
He
yeah,
uses
because
the light and that little swinging bat shaped hang glider, I guess it
or
is,
whatever.
whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. So as Bruce is leaving, like he's talking to Alf, and he's like, "Hey, I'm glad I'm friending Bruce Wayne, because fuck those guys, we're going home." And he's like, and then it's actually Alfred was sees it in the rearview mirror. He's like, "Hey, you actually might want to stay." Goes look back there, yeah. So so that definitely is like the first, like, I guess, instance of a bat signal. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So Charlie is called in to wheel the cake in and to, owe that to pay up on that favor. And that's where Harley comes in dressed up like a police officer, but I think it's implied she's actually supposed to be like a stripper or something because she's like, the entertainment.
And
And
is that where Charlie's hand gets stuck on the door, like when he opens it, like initially?
yeah, he gets his
Okay.
hand stuck on there. It's like a glue or something on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And then too, like, then like Harley like plays like a flute or something, and then like with all the candles or something like that, shoot out the nerve gas or whatever, the freeze gas or whatever the fuck it is. Like, why I would have figured like that all that stuff would have been like in with the cake, because like like
True,
who
yeah.
set
Why
the
not just smuggle it in the cake?
who said that, like there were like the Joker and Harley there beforehand setting that up, and like under the guise of fucking all the police that were fucking there seeing that too, being like, ha, they're not they never suspect us being like 2 feet away from you, setting up the being part of the catering to set up the buffet for this, because I imagine it was for this sort of thing, it was probably like a buffet sort of thing. So they probably just shelled out like a couple hundred bucks to have somebody cater it, like, and just have the people do that, and just
True, yeah.
have like a catering service come do that. So, and like, so does that mean like Joker owns a catering service and is able to do that, or is he just like, or is like one of the many favors that he's like people that he's fucked over the years, and he's like has like unlimited favors with people, and he's like, hey, you own a catering service, so I need to come do come be part of your thing. So just treat me as an employee for like an hour, and I need to set up the stuff, and I'll leave, and then you don't owe me anything anymore. So you don't need to die, but this other guy's gonna die, so you don't need to worry about
Yeah. You don't
it.
die today. Jury's out on
I'll
tomorrow.
I still have your address. I may set up another you'll meet later on. So, but for now you're good. But I'm still watching you. So,
Yeah. So yeah, this nerve gas, it more or less like petrifies these people, like everybody, like Gordon, Montoya, Bullock, all these guys in the ceremony room. And so the creepiest small addition, I love it when the animators put in little things like this. It's such a small detail, but you notice it. Gordon's eyes are moving. Did you see that?
yeah, yeah. That's what we say. Like in like the horror movies or whatever, like where the bad guy, if I know, is like they go like do nefarious things to like a
Yeah,
person or a girl. If I does that, and he can their eye does like the nerve paralyzing thing, but their eyes still fucking move. Yeah, that's always
yeah. It
fucking
was like watching
terrifying
House of
because
Wax.
like,
I loved
oh
it.
yeah, yeah, or like yeah, just or like it's that friggin' locked in syndrome or whatever, where like people like friggin' looks like they're friggin' paralyzed or like in a coma or something like that, but just they're friggin' still friggin' totally there, just can't fucking move. And it makes
Mm.
me think of that house episode where he fucking figures that out and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh man. You and I got to talk house sometime because now there's a whole level of like humor and fandom that we can figure out a way to incorporate into this. Oh, okay. Off mic, we're talking house.
But
Yeah. But Batman, he gets the award ceremony and he manages to because sorry, one of the things that Joker did before he left was he pinned a bomb on Gordon's chest. And
yeah,
so Batman comes in, deactivates the bomb, and he
or throw
manages
like
to
throw
throw it
that or
outside.
like throws. Yeah, throws you outside because like yeah, the guy Joker and Harley are with like the thugs and they're like cleaning out the I guess it's a museum that they're in, right? I'm guessing it's
That's as
where
close
this
as I could
award
think
ceremony.
of,
Yeah, yeah,
considering this place has its own Temple of Doom.
yeah. So after that, like Batman's like chases them and stuff, and yeah, they have that thing setting up. And in that, like I thought, like I'm all for authenticity, but yeah, you see that like that it has like active like flame shooting and shooting poison darts. Like yeah, like the darts could not be like laced with poison, but they're still shooting them at like full force, so it's probably going to wound you pretty good depending on or kill you depending on where it hits you. So like,
Well, why are
why
there
would they?
darts in the first place
Yeah,
if it's gonna
exactly,
hit
yeah,
at least?
exactly. Like, why would there be fire and darts in a fucking in a museum fucking piece that people would be like walking up to fucking look at and shit? Like,
Here, little Timmy, look at this.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I like, yeah, because obviously little kids are start running through, or like too, like if you're an adult, there's no friggin' sign saying like "do not walk in here." It's
Yeah,
there's so like it looks like one of the rooms or whatever. Because they had like the whole of like intervention friggin' or whatever it was, and then yeah, then later on there's like the room with like the thug. First, like when the thug had like the I'm not sure what the weapon's called, but it's like the two balls with like the rope, and they like spin it in and throws it at him. I was like, first off, I was like, where the fuck did he get that? Then I realized the other thug had like a big joust, and noticed the room was like the room of weapons, I guess. So it was, and then there's like the Temple of Doom. So it's like a weird ass fucking museum.
yeah, yeah. I that was the first thing that I made. I'm like, that's where the episode went in a whole different direction, man. Because it wasn't even the fact that he was like taking down the thugs and Harley and those guys. It's like, okay, I feel like we've walked into a completely different building here.
or episode really, like what the fuck.
Yeah. So while Batman's dealing with those guys, Joker's making his escape. And okay, this was my favorite part of the episode because Charlie, he realizes that the Joker was going to leave him to die. So when he gets in front of the Joker, I thought that Charlie was going to kill him because like he went in for this like Mike Tyson like gut punch. And like even the Joker's like, how dare you? Like I, it was awesome. I love this scene because like Charlie's like, "Oh, I'm taking you out. Like you say you're gonna hurt my family? All right, fine." He pulls out a Joker bomb and it's like, "Let's go out together." Like it's that. Come on, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. The thing is, the Joker's whole thing is like, all it takes is one bad day to go insane. The only thing is, the Joker never counted on that person going insane on him.
Yeah, throwing it back, yeah, pulling the Joker back on him, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he
What do you
says,
think of his reaction too? Because like that was the best part. Is like Joker's crying for help from like for Batman because he
he's like,
realizes, and Charlie nails it on the head. He's like, "No, I know how to terrify you. I'm going to kill you, and it's going to be privately. No one's going to see it. Batman's not going to be involved. You are going to be a performer without an audience." And
it's gonna
that's
be
where
some
like
fucking
it's like
guy.
he saw into the Joker's soul,
Yes,
or what's left of a soul. Yeah, I love that scene, man. It was so good.
yeah. So
And
yeah,
John
so
Wick
we
has
find,
taught us anything. A man with nothing to lose is a very dangerous man.
yeah, so but we find out that like the bomb is just like a firework, and he was just like fucking with them, just to be like, hey, leave me the fuck alone,
Yeah, how did the
and
Joker not realize it was a fake bomb? He built it.
well, it
Yeah.
didn't have the they didn't have like that Joker face on it like that earlier episode or
Oh,
whatever,
sure enough. Yeah.
like on the candle. So he didn't know it was his. So, like because I imagine like random factories that make all this stuff, like you just like rebrand as like all the same stuff, just rebranded and with different people. So I'm sure it's the same thing with Gotham. Like there's only like 2, 3 people that like make like small little bombs. So like Joy, so it's like the Joker goes home, he's like, all right, each little bomb or stick a dynamite, put my face on it, and then somebody else
Yeah.
is, and then Two Faces like put my 2 faces on it, or whatever.
Sure
So he's
enough. Yeah, Joker's
so
all about branding.
so I imagine like if it didn't have his face on it, he's like, okay, it's not mine, so it probably is a bomb. So
Also, when Batman shows up and he realizes the bomb is a dud, did you notice that Batman laughs like Tommy Wiseau? He's like, "What's the story, Charlie?
oh hi Mark.
Hi, doggy."
Oh,
Yeah. So Batman takes Joker away because now that he knows that he was gonna go after Charlie, he's like, "Well, not on my watch." Like, and Joker even just so desperate to like save his own skin that he throws away all information that he has on Charlie. So yeah, he's taking him back to Arkham, and Charlie is happy to go back to his ordinary life and go back home to his family. Yeah. This would have been a mid episode if not for this ending, man. Because I thought Charlie was actually going to do it. Yeah.
so I guess this is where the Joker decides just to fuck with Batman because Batman can't fucking do anything to him, so or he's not going to do anything to him for like or go as far as killing him and scaring him that way. So
Yeah.
so what would you give this episode out of 5 Harleys?
Out of 5 Harleys, I'm going to give it 3.5. It was
Three and a
almost a
half.
3 until that ending. That ending is like, oh no, this definitely earns at least another half. Because like I could rewatch that scene over and over again. Like watching somebody scare the crap out of the Joker that's not Batman, like that's impressive. Like you could go to prison with that rep and no one would mess with you. How about you?
Yeah, actually, at first I was surprised at your 3.5, and I was going to say 4, but I think I'm going to go with 3.5 as well. Because because I like it. It's a decent like first appearance for the Joker. Because like I said, we don't really need like an origin story for the Joker. We just kind of need to throw him in and just being, you know, the menace to Batman and whatnot, like as we know him to be, and just kind of need to throw him in and start doing it. And it just shows that like he's like just regular crazy because he's just fucking with like a normal guy instead of the Batman or the Gordon or freaking someone related to them in some way or anything. So yeah, and then first introduction to Harley, like the origin of Harley, and then obviously it expands in the show later on because it's I think it's just a bit before she shows up again, but like yeah, it starts and then makes it into Batman proper and then the games and anime and everything. So it's yeah. So I say 3.5 Harleys out of 5 Harleys. I think definitely yes. So any last words on this episode?
Not so much last words as a challenge to our listeners. If you can watch this episode and not look at Charlie's comb over, first of all, no, you can't. And secondly, if you can, how? Tell me how. I'm not watching the episode now and I can still see it, Adam.
Yeah,
Like a
that was
coiled
some.
snake on his bald head.
Yeah, that was some bad hair. Yes, definitely. All right, everybody, that is the episode for this week. Thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman the Animated Series and the first appearance of Harley for this week. And next week's episode will be Vendetta. And I know we've already did that, but I've already forgotten what that episode's about. So,
Killer Croc.
oh, fuck that. How did I forget that?
Because
Yeah,
it
so
could
yeah.
have been anybody. It really could have been. It was not a
I guess,
Killer Croc specific episode.
I guess it goes how memorable that episode is. We just fucking we just did that like fucking like 3 or 4 days ago, and I've already
Yeah.
totally forgotten about that. Yeah, I totally forgot that was a crack episode. So listen to that episode next week, and I guess hopefully like the first appearance of Killer Croc, but obviously if it's not forgettable, I'm not sure how well it'll go. But you can follow us on Twitter/X at Beyond Badcast, on Instagram at Beyond the Badcast, and we are on YouTube now. So if you kind of want to, if you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube that way instead of through the podcast, I'll do that. But wherever you listen to this podcast, remember to rate, review, and subscribe. It helps us out. And yeah, so follow us on at Beyond the Backcast and Braden, where can we find you on the internet? And or if you can follow me on Instagram at Stone Chunkman, that is my personal account. And as I said, thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about and listen to us talk about Batman animated series at Beyond the Batcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.